Something interesting that I've noticed. I used to be very deliberate as far as looking other people in the eye. Making eye contact, that whole thing. And it was something that I'd have to put a lot of effort into until it became kind of natural. But one thing you notice is, especially if you look at somebody for a little while, you notice it starts to grow a little uncomfortable. And it's interesting, there's been a sort of shift here that's been really, really cool, really profound, really enjoyable. It used to seem like when somebody was looking into my eyes, they would see me, right? It was me looking. And along with me was all of my pain, all of my insecurities, all my fears, the things that I didn't want people to see. It was like you look into my eyes and it's like, bam, you would see pain. And because this process of being looked in the eye would strike the pain, there was this tendency to look away. But as the me drops, the sense of I am the one who has insecurities. Insecurities only arise because thoughts are being believed. And when the thoughts, one, are no longer believed in the first place, the thoughts may arise, but there just seem to be just thoughts. They have no more reality than that. Yes, certainly believing in the thoughts will create for you an experience of a reality as if those thoughts were true. But when you find you start kind of losing the capacity to even believe in those thoughts in the first place, they start to drop. And they start to even grow quiet to where they don't even come up anymore because they're no longer an issue. They're not even a problem for you to work out or solve or transcend or any of that. And then what you start finding is, as the sense of me drops, it's not there's a me back behind here who's looking out through my eyes, who's looking at the world. It's just there's this sense of like complete spaciousness, like there's literally nobody here. Not the sense of, how they say nobody's home when you're mindless, when like you're not functional. Like not that sense of nobody's home, but it's a sense of like when you look back, if I were to trace backwards into awareness, it feels like there's literally nobody there. There's simply awareness being aware. And it may seem, especially at the beginning, that awareness looking is very, not to say cold, but very uncaring. It doesn't care one way or another. It's not good or bad. It's just looking. It's very neutral. Maybe would be the word neutral and unimportant. So what? Looking is happening. Big deal. But then I remember Nisargadatta Maharaj, one of my favorite teachers. He referred to awareness as affectionate awareness. I remember Adushanti pointing this out. And I really like that because when awareness really starts to blossom and recognize itself, awareness is somehow affectionate. It loves. Its nature is to love. And what I'm finding is, like my eyes are starting to water now a little bit from the sun, but it's like looking at other people becomes so enjoyable because no longer is it insecurities coming in face to face with the world. It's just empty looking. And in the looking there is this love and appreciation. And it's interesting noticing that this affection, this sense of love, it doesn't go to thought. It doesn't say I love you because you're a good person, because you took care of me, because you do the things I like. It's not I like you because you are like me. It doesn't look at skin color or gender or preferences or clothing or personality. It doesn't look at any quality at all. This love that is present when awareness is pure, it's not dualistic in the sense that there is nobody loving and there is no beloved. It's not I love you, or it's not I am sending love to the world, I'm radiating love into the world, I am loving another, because there is no me, there is no other, and there is no world. Yes, all of these things, sure, in a sense still exist, but they are so secondary. They are so secondary that the primary foundational core is just awareness and love and presence. We could talk, I guess, if you want to talk about the world and about others and about me. Sure, we can still use that language. It's useful in conversation to use dualistic language. But kind of falling back into awareness, it doesn't even register It's not even in the same ballpark. It's not even in the same domain. It's just awareness, just love, without a second, without another. It's just love. It's not about giving love. It's not about receiving love. It's not love moving in any direction from here to there. It's just the presence of love, being that. And there's an immense freedom in this, too, to where you can really just enjoy the world, and you find a lot of the insecurities start dropping, and there's such a freedom to really enjoy. Not struggle, not get somewhere in the future, but just moment to moment to moment to moment joy. And yes, the joy does fluctuate. The quantity, I guess, of love, how strongly it is felt, also does fluctuate. In the same way that, we can talk about being present or being in the moment or being in the now. Sometimes you're more present and sometimes you're less present, right? In the same way, it seems like the quantity of love, if it's just kind of a quiet thing in the background, or if it's so strong that I'm smiling, I'm laughing, and tears are streaming down my eyes for no reason, just causeless joy, that changes. And that's not the point. As pleasurable and enjoyable as that is, that fluctuates too. But there's kind of a falling back into awareness itself and a resting in this looking that doesn't change. How deeply awareness recognizes itself changes. That's not it. It's just the looking itself, the pure witnessing, and the recognition of kind of going backwards into awareness that there is nobody that's aware. It's not I am aware. It's not my awareness. There's nobody to claim awareness. There's just the looking, just pure witnessing. And not as an identity. It's just the witnessing is happening to no one, by no one, for no reason, no cause. It's just consciousness is conscious. And there's just a looking. And I know at the beginning of the spiritual journey, it's like, so what? I'm conscious, awareness is aware, big deal. But kind of it seems like as we progress more and more, and it's not a linear thing, it can go back and forth, and you get glimpses and fall back and all that stuff. But at the same time, there's a recognition of the value and the enormous value of awareness. How, not to say it's more important than anything else, it's just one of those things that's been overlooked. Awareness is always looking, but it's totally unconscious of the fact that it's looking. It's like watching a movie without realizing you're watching a movie. It's like you can get so sucked into a movie or a TV show that you forget that you're witnessing the movie. You're not actually in the movie. It's kind of like stepping out and saying, wow, this movie is being witnessed. I'm not in the movie. I'm not running down the corridor with the characters. When somebody dies, sure, you may cry and stuff as if you're in the movie, but there's still this recognition that I am not actually that. I am just, not to say I am that, it's just like there's an identity here. It's just, that's what you are. The isness itself. So, it's been really enjoyable seeing kind of the reactions I get from people when I look, just for the sake of looking, for the sheer joy of looking, without all the fears and insecurities and all the stuff that comes up doesn't really come up anymore. There's just this sheer joy of looking, of really looking. And the responses you get from people, just, not that I'm trying to, just kind of noticing that too. It's been really amazing. The smiles, the laughs, like when you hold a person's gaze, man or woman, it really doesn't matter. It's not a sexual thing. It's not a pickup. It's not any of that. It's just the sheer joy of loving, of looking, of being aware, of being is itself so incredibly rewarding. And it seems like people pick up on that, like, what? What's going on? It's interesting. It's different, But at the same time, it's very simple. It's just looking for the sheer joy of looking. And kind of falling back into it again. It's like, wow, there's nobody here. There's just this huge empty spaciousness that's looking.